Okay, so the two recommended places by DEXCOM for the DEXCOM sensor is the butt and the stomach. But as you will see with most people that actually have used these on a regular basis, the tricep is where they install it. There's several reasons for this. One, if you're riding in a car or you're still going through potty training or anything like that, having it on the butt is not the best place. Plus at night, when you've got covers and pants and underwear and everything over it, there is a tendency for it to sometimes not read because there's too many items of fabric shielding it. The stomach has a problem sometimes when you're sitting as well because you're hunched over and you can block the signal as well. The arm seems to work the best. Also, if you're taking baths, the arm doesn't get as wet. They don't fall off as often. Anyway, so we're going to be putting it on the arm. And another thing that we have found with younger kids, or this younger kid anyway, is that the adhesive from the sensor irritates the skin. And if you notice this when you take your sensors off, that the skin is very red and some actually bleeding sometimes, or red and just irritated.
Chafed.
What we use, you can use Tough Pads from Johnson & Johnson, or we found that these work really well. These are NexCare waterproof bandages, and we use 3 of them, making kind of a triangle formation like this. And then the hole that is created from a triangle is what we have the sensor inject through the skin. So we're not injecting the sensor through a bandage. We put the 3-fold on here, and then we have actually the other way around here. Kind of like that is how it's going to go. And then we will put the sensor right on top of the bandages where the injection hole is going to be through the hole between the 3 bandages. And that way the adhesive from the sensor applicator is not touching the skin, and we haven't had any problems that way. So the way these work, these are a little bit different than your normal bandages. You have a typical open, but then you peel it off and you stick it to the skin. Can you get your tricep up here? So that'll be the first one. You put it on. Can you get your tricep up? And then you peel off the outer casing. They're pretty cool bandages. They're waterproof for other applications as well. But we go through 3 of them each week when we're changing this.
How you doing, Jake? Are you good?
Yeah. Can you tricep up again? Okay, so you see the 3 bandages are there, and you can see maybe that there's the bare skin right in between. So on the bare skin, that's the only part I'm going to do the alcohol pad. If you did the alcohol pad under the bandage might not stick to the skin. The only place you need the alcohol pad is where you're going to actually be having the insertion go through the skin. You rip the package open. I did it already. You pull out the gizmo, and it comes all folded up. So I tend to kind of get rid of the creases and flatten it out because you're going to want it to stay flat on the skin and not come off. Peel the wings. They're a little tricky, but you'll get better at it. And then you can see where the circle is. That's where the applicator is going to go through. So I want to center the circle roughly where the bare skin is. Okay? So if you line it up to where the bare skin's going to be, and then you push down, and you keep this flat. Now, there are two tricks to doing this when whether or not you use the 3 bandages or not. Whenever you put the sensor application on here, there are two tricks that are very important to making your kid not scream and be in pain. Here's trick number 1. You pull this off. Okay, the trick is you pinch in the front and you pull it up. So you'll see that I'm holding the bottom here, and I'm kind of pinching his skin a little bit, and I'm lifting it up about 1/4 inch, so that now when I put the insertion in, it'll just go into bare skin as opposed to whatever's underneath there. The first step is you push the white down, and the second step is you pull this piece up, and the third step is you pinch where my fingers happen to be to get the whole application off. And the whole thing you do fairly quickly. So 1, 2, pinch, and pull it off. And he didn't flinch at all. If you don't pull this up first and you just do it, they will scream. It hurts. But by doing that, it doesn't. So that's trick number 1, very important trick. And then trick number 2 is you get your transmitter. And I had already wiped this off with alcohol before we started, so it's all nice and clean. It seats in here. And trick number 2 is to pull up similarly as you did on the front, but now I'm going to pull up on the back. And you have your 2 fingers underneath the whole contraption, and it's pulled up here so that when you do the applicator to snap it into place, 1, 2, it clips on both sides, it doesn't have a problem. Okay, and then that twists off. The other thing I wanted to point out is which direction. You'll notice that we did it so that it was going up. When you're doing it on the arm, you want it to go up. If you go down, you got bone and things like that here. If you do it on the butt, you tend to go towards the center. Same as with the stomach, you tend to go towards the center. When we were watching videos in the beginning, it was always hard to tell from watching the video which direction they were doing it. But butt or stomach, you always go towards the center. And on the arm, you go up towards the shoulder. Okay, so that is the application process. We will be posting another video for how to remove these. So thank you very much.
Say bye,
Bye.
Jake. Good job, Jakey.